back to For Real. We're pleased you are here and we want to thank you for watching our videos. 100% of the money we earn from YouTube goes to charities doing amazing work in Cambodia, and you're helping us earn this money just by watching. In the description of our videos, you can see how much we've earned from YouTube and where the money is going. We have received our income for March, but we haven't got around to donating it yet. Don't worry, we will though. Our income is a bit lower these days because we aren't making as many videos right now, but we are still donating every cent, and I'll update you on this next week. Before we get started with this week's news, you might remember that we put a shout out to other YouTubers who wanted to keep the news moto going by helping us with a ride video, as we're currently in Australia. Today is our first collaboration, and we'd like to thank Amit and Noreen from Riding with the Ranas for providing today's accompanying ride. They are making great content about Cambodia, and they were in Thailand previously, so they have videos from there as well. Give them a like and subscribe. There'll be a link to their channel in the description and in the pinned comment. Today is Wednesday, the 23rd of March, 2022. Finally, we can change the intro of the news moto, and I'm pleased that so many people are going to start travelling to Cambodia now that the visa on arrival system has been reinstated. We've been waiting a while for that. I thought I'd do a bit of a recap of some of the main points, as there have been a lot of questions and a bit of confusion here and there. If you intend to visit Cambodia for less than 60 days, you're certain you won't want to stay longer, you don't intend to work, and you don't intend to enter more than once in 12 months, get a tourist visa. This can be procured online, where it's referred to as an e-visa. That's a lowercase e-visa. You can also get a tourist visa on arrival by simply ticking the tourist visa box on your incoming immigration card. If I was coming in on a tourist visa though, I would purchase it online ahead of time so that I didn't have to wait at immigration. If you want to stay long-term in Cambodia, then you can once again get yourself an ordinary visa or an E-type visa, not an E-visa, an E-type visa, on arrival by ticking the ordinary visa box on the immigration card. This will get you 30 days at a cost of $35. Have the exact money in USD and you'll be sweet. You don't need any documentation to get your E-type visa. Once you're in the country, go to some travel agents and ask them how much it will cost for an extension, be it a G, B or R. G is the looking for work extension, B is a business extension, and R is the retirement extension. Shop around and make sure you have your terminology right. Remember, the well-informed bird gets the worm most easily. Don't forget to join the Cambodia Visa and Work Permit group, but please do not go in there and start flinging ill-informed questions around with incorrect terminology. For example, do not ask how you get a retirement visa. This is wrong. It's a retirement extension of an ordinary visa. I know a lot of people just say these things as shorthand, but in the case of visa discussions, take the time to understand and be as clear as you can by being as precise as you can. Let's talk about vaccinations now. Cambodia considers 2 doses to be fully vaccinated, so you need to only show proof of 2 doses. This might change in the future, but for now, 2 is your shoe in the door. Cambodia recognises all vaccines, so don't worry about that. Just be sure to have your proof printed out as well as saved digitally. Don't be relying on Wi-Fi in transit or as you enter Cambodia for this. If you're not vaccinated, you will need to do 14 days quarantine. Having recently recovered from COVID does not remove the requirement for vaccination for the purposes of entry into Cambodia. Unvaccinated children are fine to enter without quarantine as long as their parents are vaccinated. What about COVID testing? Regarding the removal of PCR and rapid antigen tests for entry into Cambodia, I am not sure whether unvaccinated travellers still need to take these tests. Do your own research on this. Vaccinated travellers do not need to show a negative PCR or rapid antigen test to enter Cambodia. Even though Cambodia has removed the testing requirement for entry, you'll still be bound by the rules of your transit country. On returning home, Cambodia doesn't stipulate the need for a test of any kind because you're leaving, but your transit country and your destination country might. Check this so that you're not caught out. Land borders. As you know, Cambodia shares land borders with Thailand, Laos and Vietnam. The borders with Thailand and Laos are still closed. However, some of the borders with Vietnam are open. Just a crack. I'm not aware of any announcements being made about this, but there has been a trickle of reports from people who have made it through at Ha Tien, which is down on the coast near Kep, and at the Mok Bai Bavat, which is the main border between Ho Chi Minh City and Phnom Penh. Next, I thought it would be timely to give a little update about Cambodia and its response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. There are currently 23 Cambodian families living in Ukraine, but the Cambodian government does not have plans to evacuate them. This is to show solidarity with Ukraine's government and people. Prime Minister Hun Sen said that Cambodia will never support an invasion of one country by another. Cambodian diplomats have been called upon to adopt a stance against Russia's invasion of Ukraine in all international polls. Prime Minister Hun Sen said that he was willing to accept refugees from Ukraine, but he will not allow Cambodian nationals to volunteer to fight there. I do not encourage that, but in the case of Ukrainians fleeing to Cambodia, we have to help, he said. He added Cambodia will consider refugees and asylum seekers if they approach. A General Department of Immigration spokesman said, "We are prepared to receive refugees from Ukraine. If they come, we will accept them." I think that's a wonderful spirit and something that our country of Australia could well learn from. In some good news, Angkor Wat has been ranked as the #1 place in the world to watch sunrise and sunset. This is according to a British website called mornings.co.uk. The walk through the trees to the East Gate and onto the main complex is magical. Often no one's around at an early hour, with the birds singing as it grows light, writes one reviewer of Angkor Wat. The Cambodian temple complex has 2.5 times more mentions for its sunrise than any other attraction in the world. Angkor Wat fended off stiff competition from the Taj Mahal in India, Indonesia's Borobudur Temple, Uluru in Australia, Myanmar's Bagan, and Peru's Machu Picchu. That's pretty impressive. That brings us to the end of this week's news. You're now up to date with all of the most important events in the kingdom. Thank you for watching. Links to the stories mentioned will be in the pinned comment, and the description of this video contains links to other channels making content about Cambodia, so be sure to check them out. Thanks once again to Riding with the Ranas for providing the video footage for today's news motto. Take care, stay safe, and we'll see you in our next video.